My issue with Tatum more than anything else is the one X factor in him that I haven't seen yet, and I don't know if I'll ever see it. Can he make the guys around him better? Can he do the little things that have to be done for the guys around him to play with more confidence? Because here's the thing. I thought that Tatum had stretches where he consciously tried to get guys going, where he would see the double team and he'd swing the ball on the opposite side of the court, and then you'd have guys missing open jump shots. What's up?
What?
Incoming.
Yeah, you saw what I just saw too.
Yeah.
What?
So Marcus Smart said, I can only do so much.
I'm gonna try to get the quote. Yeah.
Yeah, I can only do so much standing in the corner when asked about how the game went down. And then he said flat out that Tatum and Brown need to pass more so they don't take as many tough shots.
Yikes.
Shots fired.
From Marcus.
Who had game 7?
Here's the
Who
full
had game
quote.
7 for the implosion?
Full quote. I can only do so much when I'm standing in the corner on offense. I try to find guys in their spots. Every team knows we're going to Jaylen and Jayson. They're still learning, but they're going to have to create for others. So there it is. Finally, someone says it. Finally, someone says, I don't know if it's a good thing that he said it publicly, but we've been talking about
it is a good thing.
Actually, Corrales wrote this the other day, and dating back to last year, he always thought something's bugging Smart and couldn't tell if it's a personal matter or there's a beef within the team or something that's bugging him about the way the team is going and the team is being run. And he wrote about it again the other day, like something's just not right. He's not being the way I expect him to be. There's something underneath that surface that's, and Sherrod, you've mentioned it too, that he seems off, and he seemed off for a bit. And I'm not going to say, ta-da, we have it, but this is exactly what we've been theorizing might be the case, which is he's not loving what the Jays are doing here. And not saying he's blameless in some of the stuff that's going on, but it would explain a lot right now. I do get the feeling that the vibe is that you've given the team to the Jays, but they're not ready to lead it because they're only doing the things that they know how to do. And this kind of comes right down to our problem is the Jays are the problem because they're also the solution. But right now they're the problem.
Right. But the issue that
they have to be the solution because they're the best players here, but they have to be different versions of themselves.
Right.
Right.
Like
But the issue I have with Marcus, what he's saying is this. There needs to be better accountability, individual accountability. Like the Jays have to embrace the fact that, to John's point, they are both the problem and the solution. Marcus, guess what? You're kind of the problem and the solution.
Yeah.
I mean, you're the longest tenure in this roster. I mean, you should be able to go to them and say, fellas, y'all need to pass the fucking pill more. And he should be able to do that and it not be an issue. That it should be something that they understand that he's not saying that because he's coming at me. He's saying that because he cares about this team that much where he's going to get in my face and he's going to ask me to do something that I'm probably not comfortable with doing. But guess what? It doesn't matter. And you get to this level, you need to learn how to be being uncomfortable. And I think those guys have embraced that reality.
There's that word again.
Uncomfortable conversations.
Been saying it.
That's real.
Listen, I can guarantee you that
real.
Marcus Smart most likely said that to the Jays.
Oh, he
prior to saying it to the
initiates
media.
those conversations. I'm sure he does.
Media.
Is Bobby going to come in here and start friggin' telling us?
No, he's losing his mind right now. He's trying to get everything.
You guys missed the other
No,
Marcus
no,
Smart
sorry.
quote. You missed the other Marcus Smart quote.
What do you got?
Before you get to the rainbow, it has to rain, and it's raining right now.
Oh, I don't want that faux philosophical nonsense.
Oh, so we got
Raining right now.
That's what he said.
You know what I need? You know what I need right now? You know
Taste the rainbow.
A win at
by
home.
Skittles.
A win at home.
No,
That's what I need. I need to see a win at home.
I need to get calm right now, okay? Whew.
Yes.
All right.
Wow.
Yes.
All right,
We all could use this right now.
We're going to take a little break,
all
everybody.
could use this right now.
Everyone here has to get a little calm, okay? So This is our sponsor. We want to tell you a little bit about calm, and then we're going to go.
I love them.
And then we're going to lose our minds, and we're going to go crazy all over again. So we're only going to be calm for about 60 seconds, but I do have to tell you about our sponsor.
A little meditation. Mini
Calm.
meditation.
#1 app for sleep and meditation, okay? So make sure that you check
need
that out.
some tonight.
Yeah. You got to train your brain to sleep better, reduce stress. You perform at your best. Okay. So this is great. Whether you are an athlete or just need to chill, or you got 3 kids and they're driving you crazy. Calm.com/. Are you playing the rain?
No, this is like a little campfire.
Oh, that's so
This is
nice.
a beach campfire right now.
I
Can you
love
hear that?
I love that.
So you
So
get the beach in the background. Yep.
go to calm.com. I love that. Calm.com/garden for a
Calm.com.
limited time. You will get 40% off a Calm premium subscription. Everybody here has a subscription right now. Are we calm? No.
I've been calmer. I've been calmer.
But we'll get there.
Yeah.
With Calm, you have access to nature scenes, as Jimmy just played. Much more, sleep stories, meditations, lots of different things. So you can be ready for any challenges that life throws your way. So once again, that promo code, you go to calm.com/garden. Okay, sign up, 40% off. That's a pretty big discount. We don't give it out like that very often.
40%
we're going to get back to it. I believe Bobby wants to chime in. He's fresh out of the presser and he's got some news.
What did you
Bobby.
do to Marcus Smart?
You're not John Zanis. You got to change your name if you're coming in here. You're not John Zanis. That's okay. I'll get you.
Zanis would never rock that coat. That's right.
Oh my God,
Bobby, what's the story on the rainbows?
Rock that coat. I haven't worn pants that button in like 2 years.
John, you're making an appearance.
When's the last time you had a blazer? When's the last time you had a blazer on?
John, you got to show your face around here soon with some of the things.
That's called TMI. That's TMI right there.
Wow, I'm sure you guys saw the post on Twitter. That was.
Wait, why do I have to show my face?
You gotta every once in a while. Everybody's gotta.
Oh, why? Because I'm dropping bombs? I'm a man of the people. I'll go out there. Every once in a while, I'll go to a Pats game. I'll go to a Celtics game, say hi, and then I go back.
Marcus is going to turn the corner. He's going to spot you.
You don't want to become like the Shaughnessy kiss of death, where whenever he shows up to a game, you know that something bad has gone on.
Oh, yeah. No. Oh, when he asks a question, you know, like shit is down.
Shaughnessy got on the Zoom the other day to ask effort questions, and then
that's when you know.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they shut it down. Jaylen went to speak, and they're like, "No more Zoom questions," and that was it.
What cracked me up too, he like introduced himself. He's like,
it was like a lightning cloud.
John Shaughnessy. He's like, oh shit.
So Bobby, go ahead. Bobby, go ahead.
I know. Yeah, he had to do the big announcement. Oh man, that was a glaring assessment of the Celtics offense from Smart. Basically, bullet pointing it. Jaylen and Jayson don't pass late in the game. Smart's just stuck in the corner, can't do anything to help, and they got to become better as creators. That was like the just rundown right there of him calling out the late game offense on this team. And it's hard to disagree. That's actually what I wrote about for CLNS this morning. It was just Jason's failure of an effort to lead the Celtics to victory in that Wizards game down the stretch there with the ball in his hands. He had full control of the offense down the stretch, and it was turnovers, bad decisions, jumpers. I think that's the most glaring issue with those two running the offense late in the games, especially when they have a lead, is settling for jumpers. And we saw that again here tonight. They'll run down the clock. They'll manage the clock. They'll get it down to 8-9 seconds, but then they'll just launch a shot. They won't even use a screen to get around a guy. It's just shooting right into a guy's contest right in front of their face. And it looks like Smart, he didn't ask for it, but feels like in some way there he was asking for them to shake things up a little bit and get him more involved as a passer down the stretch of games to free up other guys, which I don't hate. The problem is Smart's not getting to his spots on the floor to create from those spots. So there's no perfect creator on this team.
Well, I thought it was interesting. Someone asked Marcus, do you prefer a more complicated play down the stretch as opposed to having, either one of the Jays take the ball and ISO? And Marcus with the great Marcus response says, I just want to play basketball, and ... teams, when they're playing against the Celtics, they know to guard Tatum and guard Brown, and that's their game plan. Let's shake things up a bit.
Remember the quotes last year where Goodman had them and everyone lost their minds?
Yeah.
That's exactly what he said was basically, anonymous player is like, these guys are so easy to play against because you know exactly what they're going to do.
Yeah,
you basically just have to play defense against these guys because they're never going to pass.
They're not going to pass.
And he literally, maybe the guy was Marcus, because they literally said exactly what Marcus said tonight, which was
it was from the other locker room.
Apparently it was.
I know it was from the other locker room, and we know who said it. We all know who said it, so we know it was real. And everyone's like, Goodman's fake news. It wasn't. It was somebody who friggin' called him out and said, not in a mean way. He was like, they're friggin' easy, guys. They're easy to defend because the entire world knows they're going to get the ball and neither one is going to pass. So the reason they're never going to get this team over the hump is because they don't make their teammates better.
And the other part of that quote too also is, if they both go off, oh yeah, you're in for a night. Like you have to, you might lose that night, but if you can shut down one of them, chances are nine times out of 10, or at least, you're going to win that game.
And they got both of them. They got both of them tonight.
So I have the Marcus quote. I'm going to pull it up here, and I'm going to let you guys listen to it. And people, did I lose Sherrod? I didn't have to lose Sherrod.
Sherrod, I think just lost connection. He'll be back.
Is he still there?
Oh, he's
back.
There he is.
So
I'm here.
Cool. I'm going to play Marcus. I'm going to play Marcus for everybody, and then you guys can.
You have the video?
Yep.
How do you feel like you need to help guide that?
Only so much I can do without the ball in my hand. I just sit and stand in the corner. When we run in plays for our best players, every team knows that they do a good job of shutting that down. And, we can't allow that. When they shut that down, we can't keep trying to go to those guys. We got to, abort that and, find another way to get them the ball in the spots that they need the ball. And like I said, for me, I can only do so much with just standing in the corner or when I come up and give the ball away. So, I do everything I can on the other end to try to combat that. I try to talk. I try to, make the plays, get those guys the ball where they need it, where they want it.
Totally fair.
I'm kind of wondering if that's a little bit of a shot at Ime too, because he's still saying like they got to find a way to get them the ball in a different way. He's saying, well, I can't only do so much standing in the corner. Well, someone's calling these plays, right? So
I don't know. What do you guys think? Is it just kind of happening that way? Because once the Jays get the ball, they just don't give it up.
I think it just kind of happens that way.
I think
we need to find a way to get them the ball.
I don't think Ime is telling them, get the ball to Tatum or Brown. I don't think that's the play.
No, Ime's equal opportunity.
Yeah.
What's up, Sherrod? What were you going to say?
Yeah. No, I think it's more about the Jays than Ime, because again, Ime's free-flowing style allows more guys to have a say in what happens on the floor. And Tatum and Brown, they have to evolve. It's on them to figure this out. They're your best players. They're the ones that need to figure this out.
Yeah, and that's what Smart said too. They're still learning. They still got room to grow in those roles. And Brown actually,
he needs to be. He needs to be better too, though. And that's I understand what Marcus is saying, and he's right. Those two guys have to be better, but he needs to be better too. I mean, he didn't have a single assist in this game.
Yeah, and this goes back to what we've talked about in terms of everybody having an idea of what the team needs to do around them, but not necessarily looking inward. And I haven't heard any criticism of Smart through the early portion of this season. Ime has handled them with kid gloves effectively, saying, we know what he's capable from a shooting standpoint. He's all defense, blah, 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 blah. No real critiques of his game and his approach so far early in the year. More pointed attacks at Brown, and not attacks, but critiques of Brown and Tatum in those post-game settings. And then, there's just a glaring the lack of talk about the role guys on this team because there's so few. Like, what's Schroeder to do better out of this game? Kind of want to hear that.
Let me ask you guys this. How much is this comment Smart not only undercut the Jays, but also kind of sell out Ime? Because you said, this is another example of Ime losing control. You've got a player calling out what's going on in a game as not acceptable. And whether that's a shot, as you guys said, maybe at Ime, for not taking control of the situation or allowing it to happen. This is similar to the Brad stuff, which is, Brad, how are we playing a game where Jaylen didn't get a touch in the fourth or down the stretch, or Tatum, or Smart shooting so Smart's been I wouldn't say beneficiary, but Smart's been at the other end of it where he's taking shots late. And we're like, how are you allowing this, Brad? So here, this is almost like Marcus saying, how is this being allowed to happen here? And also, how are they doing it? You're taking shots at your two best players and your coach here. And it's another thing that's really making Ime's early season start rough.
It is, but John, it goes back to what we've been talking about a lot, and that is you have to have some uncomfortable conversations when you're playing like that. You have to have conversations that are going to make people get in their feelings in a good way. Tatum has to be better. Jaylen has to be better. And I'm not talking about scoring more points. I'm talking about being a better leader, a better team player, someone who has an impact in a positive way. And part of that has to do making the guys around you better. That's what's frustrating the hell out of me about these guys. No one on this team is getting.
Just getting what?
Did he disappear?
Yeah, I think
He left
cut
us
out.
hanging. He left us hanging with that last one. No one's getting.
God, I want to hear it so bad. It sounded like it was going to be good.
No one's getting wins.
No one's getting better off of Jaylen and Tatum. That's my guess.
Maybe.
I think so. And
No
I
one's
agree.
getting. Okay.
All right, I'm going
It's-
to.
Maybe Marcus
listen,
thought that.
And you know
Marcus,
what?
maybe Marcus is just as frustrated as the Celtics fan. They thought
You
that
know-
he thought that this was going to be a brand new. They're going to turn a new page, and Brown and Jaylen will share the ball more often. But here we are, after a couple of weeks, and I'm sure that frustration came splurging out. But we're not quite sure if he's going to regret this or not. What do you guys think? Do you think this is going to be something that's going to hurt the team more than help them?
I don't know if anything could really hurt
Like
them.
I think
at this
I
point.
can't.
think
I
they're
can't call
already
it
hurt.
either way right now. Honestly,
You can't what?
I can't call it either way. I feel like
No.
this could help them. This could make things worse, at least in the
I don't know. I mean, like,
short term.
I find it hard to believe that they haven't had these types of conversations before. I'm sure Marcus Smart's been
put in
pretty
the
upfront
public
with
like
them.
that, Jimmy. Though
Yeah, I know, but you know what? He's saying the stuff that we're all saying. It's almost like it's so obvious. If you're watching these games, everyone's seeing. I mean, like the opposing player said, everyone happened at the end of these games. I mean, it kind of goes back not to bring this back to like bench players, but this was a game, a quarter tonight where the offense got so flat. Where couldn't you have used a shooter like Pritchard or Neesmith?
even a
Assuming
ball
those
mover
guys
like
had ever
Pritchard.
played, assuming those guys had ever gotten any time at all over the last couple of weeks, maybe Ime wouldn't have been so hesitant to put them in a game where you do need a spot three, or you do need to stretch the floor, or you do want to give some other shooting options. But because they haven't barely played, he's stuck with Richardson and Schroeder. Where listen, I like Schroeder, but he gives and he takes out there sometimes. I mean, like he didn't have a great performance tonight.
Yeah. Especially
And
to start the fourth. I felt like he really let the game get away from the Celtics when he was getting swallowed up in the lane there. Just no separation, getting blocked from behind, getting completely swallowed up by Tony Bradley in there. And again, there's just what this team is missing right now is a full general point guard, a guy who can get everybody where they need to be.
So-
An organizer.
But no doubt,
organizer.
you're 100% right, Bobby, and we talked about this a lot last game. But I want to bring it back to the.
This is
Smart
why we were all
comments.
here.
But yeah. Well, some of us
yeah,
did.
we did.
Okay, some people thought he was overrated and wouldn't fit. But
for the
anyway,
record, I'm not some people, by the way. Well, I didn't. I was on board for London.
I was
wanted
100%
ball.
on board. Okay,
Oh, everybody
Bobby.
wants ball now.
Okay,
everybody
now
wants
everyone
ball.
did. Now that he's fighting. Anyway, I want to bring it back to these Smart comments
Bobby
because this is
definitely didn't want ball. But all right.
this is the story.
Mm-mm.
Okay, now Smart
I'll send
is
the
the
article.
point guard, and he's failing at it. Okay, he is. He's not doing a great job at it right now. He's right in his comments, but he might be the wrong messenger because at this moment he is not playing extremely well. He has missed a team flight, so he already messed up something off the court, and he's really, really cutting the legs off of his first-year coach as someone who's supposed to be a veteran leader. So while Smart is right to say this stuff, is this going to do good right now?
I'm not
Like,
quite
while
sure.
Smart's not wrong,
That's what Josue asked.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not quite sure. Honestly, it's hard to say. It's risky though, especially when you look at the schedule. I mean, things don't get really easier for the Celtics, especially when you don't have a home game for at least
Well,
another
they need
week or
some
so.
sort of wake-up call. They can't just keep saying it's early.
Yeah, but you
and
keep
it's-
that in house, Bobby. I don't know if going to the presses is the right way to go. I don't know.
and
Well,
how
all
much
of
does that say he doesn't have faith in Udoka to fix it himself? Because again, when you're
Yeah,
going through
right.
when you're going through the media, now you've
what I just
exhausted all.
said.
Right,
You
but that's
probably already had those conversations behind closed doors.
right, and that's the problem. Is like when he called out Jaylen, we said the same thing. He's going to the media already, which means he's running out of patience. So he's airing it. Now Smart's
Yeah.
airing it, right?
Well, what's interesting is, don't forget Marcus Smart did get suspended in the game earlier this year. He's got a little pent-up frustration. Maybe he doesn't think that he's being treated the same way as maybe the Jays are, and maybe he feels like he's getting
Well, he's not.
shit into the stick, and he's saying,
he
"Hey, wait a
shouldn't be.
second, wait a second, don't point the finger at me. You know, I'm doing what I'm just doing what I'm told to do. I'm doing what I'm being coached to do. I'm standing where I'm supposed to stand. You guys go ahead and take the ball and do your thing because this is how you guys want to run this offense.